That was wild. So one of the first times I've done that one. But we're live over here on Instagram. It's still catching up actually on Instagram, but here we are again, guys. James Corbett, Rocco with For My Life by Project Refit FML, which usually means fuck my life, but in this case it means for my life. We talk about stories, we get to know you. We want to get to know the veteran community overall. And we are now in a place where we have interviewed, I think, oh my God, I don't know how many episodes we've done now. We've done maybe like 30 episodes or
I was
something.
gonna say like 15 to 20, probably.
Yeah, we got a lot. We've done a lot, and it's pretty cool. And we just want to keep on growing and showing. So we have Anthony back on from a couple weeks ago. It was such a fantastic story. This, that, and the other. With Ant, and he has a great sense of humor. I think he got to know us a little bit, and recognized we just bust balls, but also we like to get down to the real nitty gritty. And we were going to discuss today, really your transition back, from you went through the war stories, what you did when you were over there and all that, which is a lot. Not even all of them probably, but, you went through a lot. We talked about Jeffrey. We're going to get Jeffrey on here too, and she's active. So everybody, as a reminder, Jeffrey is by the way, we actually saw, she commented on the live from 2 weeks ago. We saw her. She is.
I didn't.
She is gorgeous. Is to put it. She doesn't even look real in her profile picture. It looks like an AI generated image. And Anthony here knows that she's real, and she's actually on the front lines operating and leading men. And he's going to tell you a little bit about her and how she wants to come on here and stuff. But really today, just to guide the conversation, we're going to get down to where are you struggling? What is the thing you're struggling with most on your journey home? Because you're obviously still coming home. It's only been a couple of months since you've gotten back. What some of your plans are, how you plan on, being present for others and yourself, and et cetera, et cetera. We want to hear all that shit, including like sacrifices you have to make to, jobs and time and whatever else to make sure that you get yourself settled and good. That's what we're looking for today in the conversation. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds great, man.
Yeah, man. So introduce us back to Jeffrey. I'm actually thinking I'm gonna go find a picture of her and show everybody. But go ahead and tell us how she wants to come on and stuff like that.
Yeah, so Jeffrey was my sergeant in the Ukrainian gun club, the Ukrainian Foreign Legion. And she's a real badass. She's really squared away. She's been operating out there for a long time. She speaks multiple languages. She's actually lived in the U.S. for some time as well in the Boston area. So she's a local. She's a fan, and she's great. And we're real lucky to have her because since I've been stateside, she's been promoted to a commander. So she's in charge of a lot of dudes right now. She does a lot of good work. She's very well funded. She's smart, and she is no joke. So, and she's just a dime piece. I hope she doesn't get offended.
Juliana Rockies is her name on Facebook.
Yeah, that's her legit name. Yeah, her
she's actually a real person.
Yeah.
This is her.
That's her, bro.
This is the person that he followed when she was leading a group over in Ukraine. And she's going to be jumping on with us. You said, hopefully soon. That'd be really cool if she did that. But that's her, little badass here.
Yep, that's her, bro.
Excited to meet her, man. It's kind of crazy still to think like that. When I first saw that pop up, I was like, that's AI.
Literally, if that jumped into my messages or did something in a comment, I'd be like, oh, not today, ISIS.
Yeah, like that's a fake profile picture, but it's not, which is insane. So credit to her genetics,
Yeah. She's just just wait till you hear her talk with like her accent and everything. It's just like, oh my God, I can't. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm just excited to talk to a commander of her caliber because from the way you talk about her on the battlefield too, it sounds like she actually has her shit together, which is awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask her to actually like.
Here, let me show you what Rocco was just laughing at. I did comment here, and I said, "Is is it you? That was actually me that commented that. And this is what she said, and she was hot. Shades, I adore you, buddy. Thank you. Thanks for your service here. And she gave you a little salute, Ukraine flag, and a little heart. And that's what I said. It's still mind blowing to me that it's actually her. Because that's
Yeah.
when I saw that, I was like, no way, bro. No way, bro.
Well,
Uh,
the funny thing of it is, like I said, we all use an encrypted app called Signal to
Yep.
communicate over there. And just like even her profile picture on there, it was like, it was like, wow. And thank God my fiance at the time never came across that, because she would have known that that was my sergeant. She would have gave me an even more worse of a hard time than she had already been giving me once she found out that my sergeant was a female. But if she would have actually saw what she looked like, she would have definitely lost her shit.
Real quick,
it's funny.
tap the IP address in that Facebook and see if it comes up as Anthony Delgado.
Oh, hilarious. So it's actually just you pretending that there was this beautiful woman over there, is what he's saying.
Yeah, no way.
He
No
created
way.
like a whole fake profile, and no,
Yeah. No, you guys will have the opportunity to talk to her in person. Yeah, man. That's fucking. She's great.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
Is she a paid actress?
No, she's not a paid actress, man. She's really squared away, and she's got the sickest, like, tricked out fucking M4 that I've ever seen in my life, with all these sick optics on it, fucking sick camo pattern on it and everything. So maybe during the interview, I'll have her just like lean that shit like against the wall, like on one side. And she's got this huge ass vicious fucking Ukrainian dog. The thing's like the size of a bear. It'll like fucking kill anybody that goes near her. Maybe she could have like the dog in it or something. I don't know, but yeah, she's great.
Okay, in the comments, Randy Jacobs. Okay, I promised him I would give him a shout out. I work with him. Yesterday was his last day. He has enlisted.
Whoa!
He's going to basic this weekend, I believe.
That's cool as shit.
Seaburn, and then he's got hopes and dreams. He wants to go to SF, and he wants to do the whole shit and big dick on campus. So, Randy, best of luck, my brother. I appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you and hear the stories of how dumb you were with the drill sergeants.
That's dope.
Best of luck, man.
Yeah, best of luck. Best of luck, bro. You got
He's
this.
a huge supporter. He, like, as soon as he found out about Project Refit,
Yeah.
he came in the next day. He's got a patch, stickers, 2 hats, shirts. Like, he was all decked out.
Thank you, Randy. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, man. As long as he just puts one foot in front of the other, that's all he's got to do, man. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and he's gonna look at the dude in front of him and the dude in the back of him in that stack, and say, this dude can hack it, this dude can hack it, I can hack it. You draw off the strength from each other, and that's how you make it through.
Hell yeah.
Dude's got a great mindset. He's going to be perfectly fine.
Awesome.
I wanted him to go in as combat medic, but, he's like thinking about his future and stuff. Like, who does that?
Yeah, that's great.
Wade is with us too, by the way. I just saw him jump in here. He turned off his camera, so you can't see him, but maybe he'll say hi. Oh, there he is. What's up, Wade?
I came.
I'm driving.
Be safe, baby. Be safe.
Sexy motherfucker.
Yeah, that Fabio ass hair.
Gonna cut it, or the facial hair at least.
I don't even know why, man. Keep that shit.
Let me tell you how much of a friend Wade is, right? Like 3 days before I went to Ukraine, right? My ex was being a real pain in the ass about this destroyed, mangled couch that was sitting in my backyard that she wanted to get rid of so bad. And I was like, damn. And me and him were talking, right before we parted ways. He says, do you want to get rid of this couch? I said, dude, you don't mind? I mean, the thing was filthy and torn up, and me and him just picked it up and just launched it over this big fucking like 6-foot fence, like beasts and shit, foam and debris and shit all over us or whatever. We're fucking wiping each other's backs and shit off or whatever. And I was like, yeah, we got rid of the couch, bitch, and I'll stop breaking my balls.
Give it to Chuck.
Damn.
The pure definition of giving it to Chuck.
So Wade really enabled you in going over there to fight. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, he was for it. He understood what what I was doing, what my motivations were. He knew that my situation at home was kind of crappy. I was just constantly fighting with my ex. It was such a toxic relationship, man. And it was just like, you know what? It was just a matter of like, hey, this is my home, and you get comfortable and this, that, and anything. But I was dealing with a lot of shit with her in that relationship that I shouldn't have been dealing with all the ball breaking and controlling issues and false accusations of bullshit or whatever. And Wade would come and, kind of just smooth things over constantly or whatever. But, he knew that, a lot of people said, hey, listen, when you go to Ukraine, dude, this relationship is going to be over with. There's a lot of people that told me that, and I kind of had a sense of it in the back of my mind, and it actually turned out to be that way. So it turned out to be true. So, into my now being stateside after Ukraine, I definitely had a hard landing when I came home.
Yeah, probably.
I had a hard landing when I came home. I wasn't welcomed, in my home anymore by her. So I don't really have a lot of people here in Massachusetts. I've only lived here for 3 years. My mother died in 2017 when I was in Syria. My father, I didn't mention this last week, but my father passed away my 3rd week in Ukraine. So like in addition to the injuries to my knee and back, my father passing away, like at any time I could have broke contract and left or whatever, but I didn't do that. I stuck it out. And I operated as long as I could, but it's been a hard landing for me since I came home. When I came home, I could barely even walk. There's a lot of pain in my leg and my back. I was shaking constantly. Whatever you want to call it. If you want to call it combat fatigue, if you want to call it being shell shocked or whatever, it's just PTSD, bottom line. It's a real thing. And, when I had came home from Iraq and Syria in 2018, a lot of people were talking about PTSD and asking me if I was okay. But at the time I lived in Jersey Shore and I lived right across the street from the beach, and it was summertime and it was just in the clubs, like boom, 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 chilling, drinking, hanging out, bouncing around with girls, all this other stuff. So reality, when I came home from that, didn't settle in, immediately, but reality of when I came home from Ukraine was definitely there, like right up, like in my face. So I actually within 2 days of being home, I was so shooken up and no sleep and and all that other stuff. I actually ended up in the hospital. They had to hydrate me. They had to calm me down and give me some intravenous stuff to kind of just stop the shaking of the hands and all that other stuff. And they evaluated me, and a crisis counselor ended up coming in to talk to me. And so I ended up over at the Veterans Transitional House, which is in New Bedford. So this place is based for veterans that are struggling with PTSD, that are struggling with substance abuse problems. It's a small facility. There's maybe about 30 guys here. And they were able to, acquire me a bed here. And I've been here for the last a little over 2 months now. And that's where I'm at now. They have staff on hand here who, who are here for you, to support you. There's staff that, will give you one-on-one counseling. They have groups. They did help me out with some medications to help me with my sleep and with, the stress and anxiety and all that other stuff. So, I mean, I feel fortunate, but, you start to grow impatient, like you want everything quick. Like I want my own place back. You know what I mean? I want a full-time job immediately. I sold my truck, to leave my ex with money for the mortgage or whatever. So I'm not driving a car right now. It's like I want my car back. I want my own place back. I want a full-time job, like, and I want it all right now. But it's just like such a slow process. And to be honest with you, like I don't even know if, for my first month, of being home, I could have even handled working like a full-time job anywhere, doing anything. You know what I mean? I would probably, if I was using a tool, you know, my hands would be shaking so bad that I would probably screw something up. I messed around with doing tattoos before I left as a hobby, and like I can't even pick up my tattoo machines right now. I would totally just fuck someone's shit up if I even tried.
Hey,
So you know, it's a work. They call it a work in progress, I guess.
Real quick, you're really good with like chaining interesting thoughts together. I want to rewind a little bit to your friends telling you that the relationship's going to fail with you and your fiance, to the news of your mom, to the news of your dad. How did that how did that affect you while you were there? Um, are you like emotionally callous now, or what's going on with that? And then, like how did you deal with all of that as you went on? Because obviously a relationship doesn't fail in one day, so this has been going on for a bit. And then, when your mom passes and your dad passes, how do you deal with that while you're over there? And then what did you do once you came back to kind of run through the realization of that?
So when I found out that my mother passed away, I was in Iraq at that time, and I had gotten, I was able to connect to a Wi-Fi, and all of a sudden I was getting inbox all these emails from people about my mom being sick and it not looking good. And so I had let my commanders there know at the time what the situation was. So I was able to, at the time, they didn't have Starlink back in 2017.
right.
And the internet access was like super scarce. So if I went to a certain area, I would be able to, use and get connected to a Wi-Fi. I'm not going to get into the details of that, but I ended up speaking to my brothers, and they did let me know while I was there that my mother did end up passing. She got sick. Something went septic in her, and she got an infection. It made her have a heart attack, and she passed away. And it's almost like you're in a dream. It's like you get this news and it hits you and you ponder over it for a few, but you try not to like get distracted, and then you let your guys on your team know. And by the way, you have guys that like, and it's really sad, that will like make up like a family death or something to like get out of shit, like
Yeah.
going on chins and all that other stuff. Sometimes that happens or whatever. But I let my team know, and I had at that time because I was still close to Suleimania, Iraq, where I had first landed, the opportunity to break contract, with the YPG and the Peshmerga to go home, and I made the decision not to do that. The reason why is, it was so important to me what I was doing, and I believed in it, and I believed that if my mother had known what I was doing and where I was, she would respect the fact that I was making that decision. So the only thing that was really sad about that situation is all of her final arrangements are left to my two brothers. They had to deal with that by themselves, and that was pretty tough. And it's like the realization of all this stuff really doesn't hit you until like you come home, because you're in this mindset, you're in this like fight or flight mode, like ready to like hit that on button when you're over there to just fight. You know what I mean? And
Physically and mentally tough.
yeah, you have to hold yourself down. If you need to walk off for a minute, when you're on your watch or whatever, and it's 0-300 and shed a couple of tears, you go ahead and do that. But that's basically how I handled it. And then ironically, fast forward into 2024, and I believe it was April. I get the news. I connected to a Starlink, and I went on Facebook, and someone commented like a distant aunt, "Hey, aunt, sorry about your dad." And I'm like, what? What's that supposed to mean? So that's when I started boxing my brothers and everything, just saying, "Hey, his pops all right?" And they said, "Yeah, man, we didn't want to tell you why you were over there, but he passed." So it was like a whole repeat of everything that I had gone through in 2017, and I had gone through it now again in Ukraine. I let my at the time I was at the 4th Training Battalion in Ukraine, and I had let my instructors know, and they said, "Hey, listen, that's grounds to break contract if you
Yep.
chose to do so," and I chose not to do so. Again, so all the my father's arrangements all fell on my brothers. Once again, history repeats itself, and and then history repeated itself with the fiance that I had, while I was in Ukraine. She started talking with somebody else while I was over there. The same thing happened when I was in Iraq, except when I was in Iraq, she straight up just moved to do it in the house. But this time around, she kind of just kept it on the down low. She didn't want to look like, like she was a piece of shit by doing that to me while I was over in Ukraine. But, shit happens. It's whatever. And this time was a really, really hard landing for me. It's and it's fucked up, and it happens to a lot more guys than than a lot of people know. People go through things while they're over there, family deaths, they miss birthdays, they miss Christmases, they make this sacrifice,
Births.
and you just got to suck it up. I'm sure Rocco, you've been through it yourself too, and James, everybody has to make that sacrifice, in their life. They need to, but definitely a hard landing for me. And I miss the camaraderie. I miss, being kitted up. I miss, taking, a shit with my weapons slung on my body. You know what I mean?
Always having a purpose.
Always having a purpose. Eating shit that like I wouldn't feed to a dog to survive. And I lost 45 pounds. On both times. So it's not an easy thing, and it's unfortunate because being here at the Veterans Transitional House, a lot of guys, I had one guy, whose wife, I'm not going to mention his name, but his wife overdosed and died while he was on his deployment, and he had to deal with that, while he was over there. And so, what happens is also too, to touch base on the drug situation, is a lot of guys turn to drinking hard alcohol. And if you have PTSD, anxiety, and depression issues, and you're drowning yourself in hard alcohol and you're starting to indulge in drugs, it's only going to make that shit
fuck you up.
It's only going to make it 1,000 times worse. Don't get me wrong, I love to drink my beers and all that other shit, but like hard alcohol is like a demon. And Wade will tell you there's been situations where he said to come find my ass when I'm drinking hard alcohol, and and he can tell you, like, dude, you are like two different fucking people, man. When you drink that hard alcohol, he knows when I drink beers, it's whatever. But when I start smashing that vodka and drinking that hard alcohol, he's had to come save my ass a few times.
I have so many questions for you. My number one question, however, that keeps repeating in my mind, there's going to be pretty tough questions. If you don't want to answer them, you don't have to, but they're going to be very tough and very directed towards you and who you are as a person. You are obviously a warrior. I mean, that's real. It's true. You've earned it. You proved it. But what are you also running away from all the time? Like, do you not feel back here anything?
There's so much things that I should be grateful for.
Sure.
That sometimes
Going through that right now.
It's hard to be grateful for certain things. And I really feel like I just suck at civilian life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like the asshole sitting in traffic beeping his horn at me. I don't like the fucking entitled people, cutting in front of me in the supermarket. I don't like these little fucking punk kids who think they're tough or whatever, walking down the street like, G up. It's just like, dude, I would fucking peel your fucking face off your fucking skull if we were on the fucking battlefield, bro. You know what I mean? So it's I just feel like at times that I just suck at this thing. You know, living a civilian's puke existence. You know, it's hard to stay grateful.
I why does that bother you so much? When I have my own reasons, Rocco has his too, but I'm not here to agree with anything you're saying. I'm here to actually ask you questions. I don't want to validate anything yet or any of that shit. So that's why I'm not going to give you any facial expressions or anything. So just be ready for that too. But like, I'm just like really curious as to still why you let those things bother you, being that you are genuinely who the fuck you are. Like, why do you allow those things to get to you?
I
What is
think. Go ahead, bro.
no, what is it? What is it? I'm asking what is it?
You know, for me, I'm like this really hot-headed like Italian from Brooklyn, and
Okay.
I got like I come from this long like genetic bloodline of just like really like I have like a very short fuse. You know what I mean for things or whatever. You know,
You've
I don't
always
just
had
want.
that?
What's that?
You've always had that, you're saying?
I think I think in the later years in life, especially once I started hitting like my in my 30s into 40s, I started losing my patience for shit, for dumb shit. You know, I started, you know, kind of being a little bit judgmental of weaker people and just not, you know, just got kind of
Right.
just fed up with how our society here in America has become. It was just different. I'm 45 and I grew up, you know, in the Reagan era in the 80s and everything, you know, and I grew up in a tough neighborhood, you know, I grew up with a tough family and you know, just it's been difficult to maintain a positive outlook in the recent years for me with certain things, whether it be work, whether it be a relationship, whether it be tolerating certain people. That's just how things have become for me. And I'm not ashamed to admit, yeah, I actually have like started going to like therapy to like
Good,
talk about these things. You know what I mean?
good.
And there was a time in my life where I would have felt ashamed of saying that, but you know, yeah, it's needed. It's needed. I have to. There's all these terms. There's one term called coping skills, right? So
Sure.
instead of spazzing out and going ape shit and choking somebody until they piss themselves, you know what I mean?
Bro,
I
it's
love
so that is so
Yeah. So
beautifully
you gotta
descriptive.
try to find these. You gotta try to find these ways to deal with these things without flying off the handle and all that other stuff.
Yeah, dude. That is important to be able to figure that shit out. What's up, brother?
Just 1 second.
Yeah, I got you.
You got his headphones in.
Oh, you got headphones in, you said?
No, he had headphones in.
Okay, okay. Um, yeah, that's good, dude. That's really good that you are trying to get those coping mechanisms and like you're trying to figure that out. And that's what, you know, it's really what therapy's really good at teaching you that shit. You know what I mean? Like teaching you the skills you got to apply and you got to find out where you're going to apply that shit. Um, you know, it's really important and it's important to identify like where it's coming from, you know? And that's what I'm really curious is like you said, you grew up in a tough neighborhood, you grew up in a tough family, you know, all that kind of stuff. And it sounds like you've always had that kind of like, I'm ready to, you know, fuck somebody up type thing and an attitude, which has helped you out quite honestly in being a fucking warrior. So, you know, it's curious. I really, what's your plan for? I'm really curious to know what your plan is for how you're going to take that same energy, that same fighting energy, and where you're going to target it and where you're going to push it. You know, like, do you know what you want to do with that yet? Or are you just taking that fighting energy and now you're fighting for yourself first right now?
Well, I'll tell you. You know, right now I definitely have to absolutely focus on myself. You know what I mean? I have you know, I have a relationship going on with a female right now, and it's great. And that's helping me, you know, get over certain things, and she's great. But one thing that I took a big interest in while I was in Ukraine was the combat medicine courses that we had to run, and they were so brutal. And those combat medics out there were badass, some real badass dudes. And I as hard as it was, I liked it. So I was thinking about maybe trying to become like an EMT, kind of just focus on that and make that my goal, because I want to help people. I want to continue to help people. I want to serve this purpose. I want to be in uniform. This is what I want to do, and is a goal that I've set for myself. So I'm hoping to focus my energy on that, and and make it happen.
Sweet. So you're not going to do something where you're choking people until they piss. You're going to do something where that person's already pissing themselves, and then you're going to help revive them. Got it. I like that. I really like that a lot. That is a good way to take the energy and direct it towards something good. And by the way, that is still I think that's going to go down as one of my favorite quotes anyone's ever said on the show. The peeling your face off thing, I've heard that before, but I've never heard choking somebody until they piss. But that's,
what's funny is he doesn't even think it's funny. He's just like,
no, he does. He does.
He's like, it's true. I would literally choke somebody.
No, listen, I'll be honest, whatever. I'm not going to get into specifics. I've been into 1 or 2 altercations since I've been home from Ukraine, where I was like, and then afterwards I was like, damn, why did I do that shit? You know what I mean? You can end up locked up, bro. You can end up in jail and this, that, and the other thing, and you just let some little shithead just say the wrong thing to you, and you're just like, oh yeah, really? And it's just like, here we go again. You know what I mean? And eventually your luck will run out. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't even, to be honest with you, and I swear on everything that I love right now, I do not even think I'm a tough dude, because I know some really fucking tough motherfuckers that will break me in half in 3 seconds. So I don't consider myself to be, like a violent person. I don't have the skill set, and I haven't let my feet hit the ground enough yet to get to the point to where I can, kind of just avoid these kind of situations and all that. So, but I'm getting there. It's little baby steps.
Yeah. The tolerance thing is definitely huge, it sounds like. And, it's interesting. I'm really enjoying speaking with you too. I really want to point this out. It's a very important thing to point out. Like, you are genuinely on your journey home now. You're going through those problems and issues. You got into fights and shit. You're drinking, you're doing a thing, but you're trying to figure out how not to do that right now. And that's fucking huge, by the way. And that's amazing. You're sharing your story while you're going through it. Like, that's amazing. And I don't think, maybe you recognize that it's amazing. I don't know. I don't want to make assumptions, but
just 1 second, guys. 1 second.
Yeah. Do your thing. This is a part of it, actually.
I'm in the middle of a podcast. Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're good, bro. But like, even that, what you just did right there, like that, like, you're in the middle of the growth thing. You're with other guys in a house right now. Like, you're in the veteran, you're in your story that you're sharing. And like, that is fucking huge, man. And it's a good thing.
It's a very hard way. Usually I'm good with pinpointing people and how they're for their life and, why they're on their journey and all this other stuff. But like Mr. Anthony the Cato,
it does actually mean the cat.
He's such he's just down to business all the fucking time. And I just feel like one day he's like, this needs to change, and then he goes and changes it, and then he's like, this needs to be fixed, and then he goes and fixes it, and he's like, I need to be fixed, and then he's like, this is the road that I need to take to fix it. And I feel like there's, with you, correct me if I'm wrong, please, but there's a lot less emotion behind what's going on and a lot more realization and then going to fix it.
Yeah, if something needs to be addressed, I just feel like to be the one to address it. You know what I mean? Like, if I see, even if I see like a bullying situation or whatever, I'll jump into in the middle of it. If someone says something that's that I don't think is right, or they said something that rubs me the wrong way, I'm going to say something about it. You know what I mean? But I
Mm.
want to take, instead of that turning into conflict with people, I'd prefer to use that energy to help somebody somehow, some way, you know. And that's, I think, what I was doing when I went and linked up with the SDF and YPG in Iraq and Syria to fight ISIS. That's
Yeah.
what I felt like I was doing when I went, you know, and joined the Ukrainian Foreign Legion to fight Russia. You know, I was helping, you know, serve the greater good and helping the underdog fight back.
But why are you also, which that's all very good things, great to say, all that shit, great you did it and everything, but there's also a pattern of it feels like self-destructive behavior in the excuse of or lieu of service,
Yeah.
right? Because it's relationships have been destroyed, the arguments have happened, the families and all of those things. My man, later, brother, good seeing you. And all the families that you or people you could have been with are also being left in the dust. And it's like, how are you going to prevent that in the next one? You know what I mean? Like, are you willing to make sacrifices for the people closest to you, for them, instead of for the strangers that you're supporting?
Yeah, I think what's important is to just find something, you know, stateside now instead of being overseas, so I can serve some kind of purpose
Yes.
and help, but then, you know, maybe able to go home at the end of the night. You know what I
That's,
mean? That
yeah.
that'd be fantastic. Like our, you know, like our guys in law enforcement and our guys in the fire department and you know, EMTs and first responders. You know, be able to go
There's a
home and
balance there too, though. I can tell you that one of our guys is he's a fireman. He actually admitted to this too. Like he was like, "Hey man, like he was out all the time on calls and shit, right?" And I love it. I love this
Business.
shit. Yeah, dude. No, just like the lights going, his guys in the back, and he's like, It's good, by the way. It's not a problem. This is real fucking life, and I'm loving this. But just be careful of how much time you spend on the street doing the good things for others, for your community. That's all I have to say. But it's great. I think you're right. You have to find a purpose here. What everything you're saying is you have to find a purpose here at home instead of overseas. And there's a lot of dude. There's a lot of people that need someone like you here stateside. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people that do. They need you in the community. They need someone like you. The only thing we don't need you doing is punching motherfuckers in the mouth. You know what I mean? Like because
Ripping
we
off
need
their
you,
face,
or
choking
well,
them till they piss.
the choke until you piss thing, you can do that maybe. But and peeling the face is definitely a battlefield thing. You did clarify that's on the battlefield. Not the choke until you piss though. That could happen anywhere. But we don't want that. All jokes aside, we don't want that because we want you boots on ground helping out here. Wait, like I know the United States needs guys like you. There's also your story, your voice, the those things need to be shared, dude. Like I don't know, youth need to hear it, fucking other vets need to hear it, other guys need to hear it. Like there's so many things you can provide other than physical purpose, because you might have injuries that are going to fucking keep you from doing really high octane physical shit anymore. But like, don't forget that your story really fucking matters, right? Like, I'm personally going through that right now with Refit, with my own life right now. Like, I'm in the middle of a scenario where it's like, holy shit, like, this is either going to be a hockey fucking stick moment for everything happening, or like destruction, right? And I'm not joking. Like it's literally there. And it's difficult to deal with and to see and to handle but my purpose is to be able to serve others, and I know that. And I'm doing it in a different way as well. So there are other ways to serve and have purpose, and the struggles are still going to come. You're still going to have tons of stress. You're still going to have, tons of anxiety and all that other shit, and the adrenaline boosts and things like that you want to get when you make hard choices and decisions here stateside. But how are you going to manage that in your communication with your loved ones that are around you, like this girl that you're talking about, that you're talking to? Like, when shit pops off and it's not fucking fairy tale land anymore? Like, how are you going to handle not doing anything to her, or like yelling at her, or you know what I mean? Like all the other shit. So like how will you handle that?
You know, like I said, I think taking a deep breath sometimes and
Yeah.
taking like time to remove yourself from a situation
Yeah.
can really help things out a lot
Yep.
sometimes. You know what I mean? And also
I do.
like communication is like a really big thing in a relationship.
Yes,
You
it
know,
is.
you have to communicate, and honesty. Like instead of being, instead of being this lion commiserating low down dog that wants to bang every single thing in sight like a fucking like an asshole. You
Oh,
have
you did that. Got it.
what I'm saying, you know, guys, some guys live like that. I've lived like that before,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
So
got
there
you.
comes a point in time in your life where you have to grow up, and I'm speaking like
That's
I'm
right.
speaking to you, but I'm speaking at myself at the same time.
That's right.
Like
That's right.
you just have to like grow up, like you know what I mean. So and just settle down, and that's really what I want at this point. Other guys, and this is really sad that that reside with me ended up when they came home from their deployments getting into drugs and everything, and
Mm.
drinking heavily. And that's really sad because this fentanyl shit is a real thing. This fentanyl shit is a real thing. They're putting it literally in everything, and dudes are just dropping like flies. So here's this
Yeah.
guy who went and joined the military straight away out of high school. He was patriotic. He did multiple tours. He's coming home. He's struggling with PTSD. He's having a problem with his girlfriend. He's having a problem with his wife. He's living on the streets. He starts doing, this drug or that drug, and then all of a sudden he cops one of these fake Percocet pills that are really fentanyl and takes them, and he fucking dies, and that's his legacy. Oh yeah, he died from an overdose. How sad is that, man? How
Yeah.
sad is that? And you want to know how fucking sick I am, right? I started thinking of ways to get privately funded, cross the border from across the border into Mexico, and start raising hell with the fucking cartels with a couple of fucking of my homies that I was with over in Ukraine and the YPG with like, hey guys, how about we go into Sinaloa and we go fuck up the cartel dudes on a down low, and then we'll bounce our asses back across the border and we'll fucking pretend nothing happened. Like that shit's like actually crossed my mind to do that. And I guarantee you that I am not the only one that have thought about that before.
No, and all of this ties in. My wife, she commented on here, and she said that she finds it interesting that you feel more comfortable in battle and that civilian life is difficult. I've never thought of it that way, but it is very real, and I think that finding ways to combat as a civilian is an amazing idea. To have those worlds complement each other, you'd be an amazing EMT because I can imagine you saving lives with passion, and I completely agree with that. But one of the things that I was going to say when it comes to you and when it comes to most veterans, one of the most common themes that I've experienced it myself, and I've talked to a bunch of guys that experience the same thing, is that transition from battle or from military to civilian life, and whether you've gone to battle or not, right? You go from a very structured, very deliberate way of life to complete and total freedom, but there's nothing badass that's going on. So my big struggle when I came home, and I can imagine that's probably your biggest struggle, is like, what the fuck now? Like I had when I was over there, I had purpose, I had meaning, I had a schedule, I had you know guns in my hand, I had weight on my back, and you're trudging through shit and you're keeping your eye over your shoulder. And when you come here, it's boring. It's like you have to be given meaning for anything to be happening, or so it seems. And that's why it's more difficult. It's more difficult overseas or in battle or in the military because everything is right there for you. Everything is drawn out for you, whether you're given commands, you're given a mission, you're given a duty.
It's very easy.
Yeah, it's very easy, and it's very it leads to other things. It's what your training has built up for, and it's a way of life. It's a lifestyle. It's who you become as a person. And when you get out of the military, you're wondering where all that is. Where's the action? Where's the mission? Where's the direction? And when I say complete freedom, that's not always a good thing when you come home and you have complete freedom, because it's like, what the fuck now? So I think that's where it's difficult. Yes, there's shooting and bombs and people that don't like you very much overseas, but when you come home, it's mystery, it's questions, it's like, where the fuck am I going now? And my main thing that I want to say to you is, I completely agree with her. I think you would be an amazing EMT, because there's a lot of people that are out there that are like, they like the field and they want to do stuff, but you would be saving lives with passion. That's what you were meant to do. And then, oh yeah, and then the other thing that I wanted to say is, you can have a dual purpose, right? If you want to chase being an EMT, I 100% want you to do that. But your purpose doesn't have to stop at just your job. I think there's a lot of guys that could benefit from the way that you think, your mindset, your direction while you're coming home, and your story. And I think that you can serve as an EMT, and I think you can serve other service members as well. And that's, basically being in Project Refit, but you can do whatever you want, right? But I think other people dealing with your same situation with less of a good headspace can definitely benefit from talking to you.
Yeah, and I would actually enjoy that. I don't know if my name is spelled in a unique way here, Anthony, Del capital Gatto. But anybody can find me on Instagram or Facebook and inbox me anytime. I always got time to talk to people that are going through it, especially veterans, especially combat veterans, because we can that's one reason why I open up to Wade. There's been so many people that have tried to talk to me over the years, and I'm like, yeah, get the fuck out of my face. But when I met Wade, I know Wade, has been there and done that just like I have, and just like you have as well. So it's easier for us to kind of like open up to ourselves, because we know that we've been there, we've done that. So I'm talking to a guy that I completely respect, that's been where I've been and done what I've done and experienced what I've experienced before. Like, if you've been in that combat situation where like all of a sudden shit just blew up, and your ears are ringing and the dust is all around, and the first thing you do is reach down and grab your dick to make sure that that's still there. Okay, good. I'm good to go. I still have a dick. And, yeah, and like, you share stories with the guys, like that, and they're like, oh my god, holy shit, me too, but so when you can relate on that level, you know what I mean, you just get this mutual respect for one another, and it's just so much easier to communicate. So if anyone anytime wants to reach out to me, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. I've posted videos from Ukraine, Iraq, and Syria on YouTube. Just go onto YouTube. You can watch that shit. I'm in a documentary called Haval, Heval. That's on Tubi, about our experiences in Iraq and Syria as well. Yeah, I have a couple of cool videos and shit I can share with guys or whatever. And just, if not, just conversate. I'm totally willing to do that.
So I'm going to touch base on something real quick. I think being a soldier fades, and I don't think being a warrior ever fades. And by that, I mean, you come home and you have to find something back here that makes you feel like a warrior still. Like for me, right? It's doing kind things for people and being kind in a society that is very selfish. Like, I feel like I'm still pushing myself to do the right thing. Like maybe my death will have some glory behind it. My funeral will be just as cool as a military funeral, because I choose to continually be kind and help people. Like, I'm still a warrior because I do want to punch motherfuckers in the face. That's a lie if I say I don't. But I choose to walk because I don't have to prove myself to these people. I'm like, dude, I've done worse for less. Like, just go the fuck away. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to find a place here where you still keep your status as a warrior, but that's translatable to many things, Anthony. You just have to find it, brother. Like for me, it's Project Refit, dude. That is really it for me. Like I truly feel that I am fighting a battle with my brothers and sisters that want to, and this is a lack of a better term, but want to off themselves or commit suicide. Like I'm fucking there with them in the trenches, bro, because why? I've been there. I can use my negative experiences in combat to fucking help people. And I feel like a warrior. I want to cry sometimes when I'm sharing some shit, but like
Yeah.
I'm doing it for on their behalf, and maybe I'm losing my man card a little bit, but at the same time, I'm not, because I'm fucking saving people, bro. And what we have here in Project Refit is an opportunity for you, Anthony, to fucking help other people. Like I'm not saying obviously we'd have to talk to people, but bro, you have a fucking amazing story. You're a great fucking guy. You can reach a whole other fucking audience that some of us can't fucking reach. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, you could still be a warrior. Be a warrior with us, man. And maybe you'll get that feeling back, dog.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we play outside the wire. That's how we roll, Dirty deeds, dirty deeds done dirt cheap. And if anyone can understand what I mean by saying those two things, and you're struggling anything, bro, just hit me up anytime. And I can give the best advice in the world right now, but I can't perform those things the way that I'm supposed to. But I can talk to somebody and give the greatest advice in the world. I should take my own advice and follow through with that. Like I said, baby steps.
Yeah.
And but and anything with Project Refit, if there's anything way for me to volunteer, if there's any way for me to do anything, just please let me know. I'll help brand t-shirts. I don't care. I'll be out there to talk to anybody you guys need me to, or whatever, anything you'd like. I got you.
Before we get into that, I've been really thinking here. That's why I've been sitting in silence. I've been really taking a lot in. I want to get back to you real quick. I would love that, by the way. I need a ton of help. We talked to Wade or Rocco. They know intimately. I personally need you to step up and do something, share your story, and help us raise money and shit so we can send guys on retreats and not fucking die, right? As an organization, because we've helped out literally thousands. And no joke, thousands is a real number. Like we've trained 800 fucking airmen and women this year alone, and also a handful of Army and Marines, and all that. I can get on the gambit of numbers that we've done. But anyway, there's this really interesting thing with the word freedom, and when you go from complete structure in the military, it's not that combat's easy or the military is easy or any of that, because that word does come up quite often with when you're in the military or you're over and you're doing. It's easy only because you know what you're doing, right? You have an idea. You're being told this is where you have to go. This is what you have to do. This is how you operate. This is how you are. This is blah, blah, blah. Literally what that does is you don't think. And the reason why you want to do less thinking when you're in the military, especially when you're in a frontline position, is the only thing that you're worried about at that point. You're worried about nothing. You're not worried about, oh, if I die, my kids aren't going to get taken care of. If I die, my wife isn't going to get taken care of. Like the only thing you're thinking about is taking on the mission. They actually eliminate all thought for you, right? So you only have one mission at hand, and that's what is in front of you, right? And that's what makes it easy. The act of doing it is what's hard. The exact same thing is what you just said. I'm great at giving advice because it's not really hard to think of what the right thing to do is. It's hard to act, right? So you just said that yourself, right? So think of it that way as well. You're actually coming home and looking at freedom. I think a lot of guys look at freedom the wrong way. Freedom is amazing. It's amazing. It's very hard. And it's supposed to fucking be hard, right? Because we're not slaves. We're not fucking slaves. And we should never want to be slaves. Your freedom of thought and choice is what's supposed to be hard. You're supposed to have money issues at one point in your life. You're supposed to fucking have, fucking growing issues and pains and all this shit. And yeah, I'm also talking to myself. But all of those things is real. You're supposed to go through that shit. You are. Because one day, and by the way, this, that, and the other, you're in that position now. You have such an amazing fucking life that you've lived, that you can now share that story with so many people, right? So looking at the idea and the concept of freedom, as Angel, I'm talking to you directly now because I saw you saying some shit in there like same and, two different things that were coming up. And yeah, it's a different level with combat vets, amen, double amen. And the difficulties essentially, Angel, with coming back and not knowing what the fuck to do, right? Like, yeah, I think you actually said, yes, what the fuck now? Yep, here it is. You said, yes, what the fuck now? Here's my thing to you, bro. When you're listening to this, Anthony's trying to figure it out. Rocco is figuring it out every day. Wade's figuring it out. I'm not a veteran and I'm figuring it out. Like, I'm telling you, that is a good thing that you are in a position to need to figure it out. That's actually empowering that you can do it. The thing is, so many people right now try to tell you that you can't, that you cannot. You hear so many fucking messages in the world that are telling you, no, we need to take care of you. Daddy government or daddy this and daddy that is going to take care of you. Fuck that shit. You absolutely can do it, right? And PTSD is great. And that's a great. Well, I'm sorry, the meetings that you're going to. The PTSD, wait. And the PTSD meetings that you're going to are great. Keep doing that. Yeah. PTSD is a good thing.
See my face?
Yeah. I was reading his shit. And it's good that you're doing that, right? Right? Because you need, and here's the thing, you need the community. You need people around you. You do. You need that. You need the in-person, face-to-face. We fucking need that. And that's one of the big problems, honestly, like in our modern society right now, since 2020, so many people now just rely on this format. We need to see each other. We need to be with each other. 100% we need that shit. Like, it's not even a fucking question. So I really just sit here and I listen to what you're saying and you miss what was easy. Yes, I understand the argument of, well, it's not easy to execute and be in war. No fucking way is it easy. And you know what I'm saying, being at your combat vet, Wade and Rocco, I've talked to so many different guys who have been in there. You know exactly what the fuck I'm saying when I say that, right? Because yeah, Wade's face did shift immediately with the PTSD thing. But like that genuinely was an easier time. You're with the boys, you were with each other constantly. You had that community, that camaraderie, that brotherhood, that fucking all the things that matter. And you do need to find that again. You do need to find a new purpose that you can fight for 100%. And it's not going to be easy because you know what? If you did come to Refit and you say, how do I get involved? What do I do? The number one thing is we have jobs you can do, but how you execute the job and how you do it is actually ultimately up to you because I'm not going to be daddy and tell you what the fuck to do. I'm going to tell you this is what we need. How do you want to do it? Because you need to learn to lead yourself. That's actually one of the biggest challenges in this organization is we don't tell you what to do. We actually want you to learn how you can do things yourself. It's actually therapy. You know what I mean?
That's a great way to put it, man. Honestly, it's like, hey, look, you want to know what? Use what you got and put it into effect.
Put it into effect.
Put it into effect. I like.
You know what's really hard?
Me.
Damn. What's really hard is the execution.
Yeah.
Doing.
I agree 100%. And you want to know what? You got to give respect and props to like a guy like Wade. Like I've seen Wade like multitask like 4 different dudes at the same time. Like he's on the phone. He's like this. He's like, hey, give me 1 second. Boom, and he's dealing like 4 crises at once, right? Like I've seen him do it. You know what I mean? And that's just great. It's but it gives you a sense of satisfaction at the end of the night when you go home and you put your head on that pillow. You know what I mean? So I would love to do something like that. It's great. I love it.
We're going to get him out on a retreat.
Yeah.
For sure.
I agree.
You're going to make motherfuckers cry, bro.
Let me know when and where. I'm there.
What kind of
cry?
I
would also like to bring you out sometime. What'd you say, Wade?
I said, what kind of cry? Like happy cry, scared cry? There's levels to this.
Yeah. It'll be happy crying. It'll be happy crying. Trust me.
Be better, motherfucker.
Yeah.
By the fire, and you shut the fuck up.
He's gonna roast. He's literally gonna have like people skewered and like rotating them. Um, so I would love to have you come out though, for real, bro. And Wade is actually the leader of our retreat program now. So he can help set you up with that. And we're gonna start the planning phases. So Wade and I are gonna start the planning phases of next year for the retreats that we're gonna be hosting. Um, and I'm sure he will try to get you out on one. And you can't become a leader of a retreat until you've been on one. So you have to be on one first and participate, and then you can become a leader on a retreat.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down. Just let me know when and where.
Oh, if you wanted, yeah, go ahead.
Hey, so we're doing so Tanner Montana, one of our boys here at Project Refit is putting together a relief search and rescue help out party to go to North Carolina to help out with hurricane relief efforts. So if you want to be a part of that, I'll push you into the group message and we can all meet up and head on down.
Yeah, please do that. Please do
November
that.
1st to the 8th, so you know
First
the
to the
dates.
8th. Yep.
Yeah, that's cool because I'm not doing anything full time right now at all. And yeah, I'm 100% with that.
That's
Please,
cool.
please
We
send us
also
and I'll even
November
we'll
11th.
even operate. I'll have a reason to throw this bad boy back on my head too.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Holy shit.
Decked
dude.
out Kevlar. Let's go.
I'm just here for
We
one. Guy's so tactical.
I just need to get fucking fished out of the water.
Yeah, you know what? I'll go overboard as shit. I'll be that gear queer that's just like fucking just totally.
That's super cool.
And no offense to any population whatsoever. It's just a term that we use. No offense.
Anthony's gonna be trudging through water in North Carolina holding a dog over his head.
We need photos of that. There's also November 11th. We're gonna be going to a concert called Vets Aid. We just got word about it. We have a small grant where you have the potential to meet Eric Church and Post Malone and a few others, and we're going to get some VIP tickets for that to get some people in, and it's unlimited tickets after that too. We literally just got word of that like a couple days ago, whatever the fuck. Yeah, you're allowed to come, Wade. I would love for you to speak on stage too. We're going to have people have the ability to speak on stage and stuff like that too.
Bro, I'm a huge Posty fan, bro. Huge Posty fan.
Huh?
I didn't know about this.
Yeah, that might be the other.
What the fuck?
Hopefully we make it to November 11th, guys. But yeah, we got that coming up. So if you want to come through, man, please definitely do that. We'd love to give you tickets to get you there and come hang out. Without a doubt, actually. And then we can post all about that shit, and we try to get as many people to sign up for it and get free tickets to go to this awesome concert. So again, Post Malone, Eric Church, and a few other people are going to be there. So it's a big deal.
Love it, man.
Yeah. I still, Anthony, I want you to come on a retreat. I personally am taking a step back from retreats to not go on them anymore, but I will be going and hosting like once a year, like a leadership retreat. That's actually Wade's idea. And we're going to have a leadership retreat where we're going to have all the refit leaders like you, Wade, Mo, TJ, Dan, Tanner, Ray, and a few other guys who are like retreat leaders. And we're going to bring them out on a retreat and then plan for, how are we going to communicate with people, refresh the idea of like what mental combat really is, where we really dig in and piss you off to the point where you're like, fuck you. And it's like, well, this is the truth, man. You said it. And then like that whole thing. And it's a great time. It's a great time. But genuinely, it's all about dialogue, right? Because, we too often are outsourcing thinking and thought. So, to other people, and we don't do it for ourselves, and we're not bringing it to the community at large. And I think it's a crime against America, to be honest with you, and our modern world. So we really have to start doing that again and talk to each other. Literally, have the hard conversations. Say the nasty shit. Say the thing you've never said before to a group of people on this retreat, right? The thing you need to admit, because sometimes people can't even admit shit to their therapists and shit. So that's where people come out to these events and these retreats and they say the darkest, deepest fucking things. Maybe that's also why I'm going through what I'm going through right now. Just all of it's piling up on my body. But we need to spread the load and the love, right? So there's different types of Did you hear what he said, dude?
I missed it.
Fucking, I said spread the load and the love, and he said that's what she said. So I lost my train of thought, bro. We all got to carry the weight together, not the load.
We got to take on everybody's load.
And help each other.
Spread the load.
Spread the load.
Spread the load.
I'll be home soon, babe.
Oh, damn, Claire. Damn. I'm trying to say some shit.
She's gonna fuck me up for that one.
But you get it. You get it, right, Ant? Like, you know what I'm saying, Ant.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing, right? So we are looking for more leaders and more people to step up and be about this shit. And if anybody's watching this and you want to come to the concert with us, please, contact us, send us a message, and we'll get you in that. Or subscribe to our email list. Honestly, we're about to send out an email about it, so you can actually get a ticket. And yeah, so that's it. That's what we got going on. It's exciting shit.
Yeah, become a monthly donor.
We need monthly donors so bad. We're scaling in terms of how many guys we're supporting. And by guys, I mean men, women. The people that we're supporting, our population. And he said, "You guys are fucking distracting." It's funny. And then the amount of money that we have is just not able to match. And I would love to get to the point where we have the money to match and we can help more guys out, help more people out, and have more retreats, have more people in the communities talking to others and meeting people and operating the mobile base and, going out to these local events that we keep getting requests to show up to. And, it's just, we are a real organization in the middle of a tremendous growth spurt and we don't have the help. So money will definitely solve almost all of those problems because we do have great people a part of it, like Wade and Rocco and Ray and Tanner and so many other, Lisa and so many others who have been helping and who have been hired by the organization on grants and who want to come back and who want to actually work for this organization to grow it. And the only way we can do that is through monthly donors, and we need a fuck ton of them. We need like 200 or 300 monthly donors. We have like 30 right now. If we had 200 monthly donors, dude, there's no telling the impact we can make in our communities and in the veteran community and first responder community overall. Lives and the dynamic by which we talk about mental health and dialogue again and actually see each other in person would change forever and hopefully for the better. Not hopefully, definitely for the better, because we need to trust each other again. Jesus. I'm not going to get too fucking preachy. I don't want to. But yeah, that's the war. That's the fight that we're in, and it's a real one. It's a psychological war at this point, and we're in it, and we want to win it.
And it's worth it.
And it's fucking worth it to talk to each other. Go have a fire with your buddy down the fucking street and go talk to him in person. Don't go on fucking video games and talk. Go see them in person. Like it fucking stop isolating yourselves, dude. Go have LAN parties again. Jesus.
Oh.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
Halo LAN parties.
Yeah, you'd see each other in person. You'd be fucking hanging out.
And if anybody out there is just like they feel like
fuck,
they're people that they have in their life right now just doesn't have enough time for them. Hey, guess what? I got a shitload of free time, man. Just inbox me. We'll fucking FaceTime. We'll fucking video chat. We'll shoot the shit. We'll do whatever, man. You want to go? Fucking go let off some rounds in the fucking woods or whatever.
You can say shooting.
Light something on fire, whatever you want to do.
Hell yeah.
I'll be there. Just hit me up.
Let's do it, dude. And just to reiterate, we're dead fucking serious, and we're in it to literally win this thing and build community again, and especially one of veterans and first responders who need to hear each other out. Because I'll tell you what, it's that community's not dead. It's not gone. It's, there's still tough, hardened people out there, men and women who are ready to go. Like Jeffrey, for example, she's ready to, she's leading a group of men over in fucking Ukraine from Boston and shit. The United States is still fucking strong. We're still here. We're still doing a damn thing. And it's about time we revitalize that spirit and that community. So let's see each other again. All right.
Fucking go.
Let's fucking go. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Man, I would love to see you on a retreat coming out soon here on a retreat with us, brother. We're going to talk to you, Wade and myself, and we'll get you out on one, and hopefully you can become a leader in this organization too. And come on another podcast anytime, talk to us and get to know us and, get to know the community even better. And we can bring up some philosophical questions and shit and, dig in a little bit deeper, and whatever you need, you can hit us up anytime too. All right.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Wade, just let me know. Just keep me informed, brother, please.
Oh yeah, November 1st. We need your number. We're gonna end the stream. So here we go. Everybody, thank you so much. Become a monthly donor. Don't be a fucking square. We need that. We need monthly donors to help us continue to operate in this community, to continue to help people out. We need you to get our merch, get hats. You know what I mean? Rocco's got one on right now. I got one on right now. I think Wade's even probably got one on right now. We got mugs, we got shit. Just go become a monthly donor with us, dude. Like all of it. Like it all matters. It all helps us out. All goes towards, us growing a special organization that has, with very little, done so much. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next week or in 2 weeks. We're going to be in Washington next week with a shit ton of veterans, actually 20 of them that we're bringing out on a retreat to Washington. And we need funding for that and continuously growing. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all.